Staying at the fucking Hyatt at 41 years old. You think I want to do that shit? Being in Memphis on a fucking random ass Thursday. I'm not like the first guy even talk about it in the NBA. Like we all like, you guys have to move. Just go over to Nashville. You got Vanderbilt over there. You got the fucking NASCAR. You got a stadium. Don't they got a hockey team too?
Yeah, Predators.
Predators. Like they got everything. Staying at the fucking Hyatt at 41 years old. You think I want to do that shit?
Celebrate LeBron while he's here. You know, we don't have Kobe no more, so celebrate LeBron while he's here. He's on the throne right now. He's arguably the best player to ever play this game. He's arguably the best player to ever play this game. You know, you got Jordan. He doesn't have a media spotlight. Patrick Ewing, Shaquille, you know, LeBron, he's embracing the spotlight. He's embracing it. You know what I mean? Celebrate the fact that, you know, he's giving you highlight reels in Miami, Cleveland, Team USA, the Lakers. He's giving you everything. You know what I mean? I used to always think like LeBron, he's going to go to Chicago Bulls and play for the team. And he never did, right? You know? And that was the reason for that, you know? You thought like all the great players were going to follow after Jordan, and they never did. You know? I don't know why people can be mad at the fact he's telling people to get out of a city that's basically just ran down, right? I've been to Memphis before. I didn't really like it. I didn't see the idea of it being, I thought it was a city. To me, like Memphis is just like a northern city, even though it's in the South. It's actually in the mid-belt, but it's like it's in the South. I always thought it was like a northern type city. It's to me, it's like another Detroit. Memphis is like another Detroit. A lot of the people in Memphis, they travel back and forth from Chicago. I never fell in love with the city. But he's being honest, you know, like travel over to Nashville, you know what I mean? Like why stay in Memphis? You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's like it's this thing, it's this dynamic, right? Where you see people, they kind of like the fact that they're experiencing this gutter reality. You know what I mean? Like they like that fact that they're experiencing a gutter reality. And you can't tell them any different. You can't tell them any different. They like the fact that, you know, they're in the hood and that anything can jump off at any time. They like that. If you just go on Google Maps and you type in Memphis and you just look at some of the neighborhoods, like it looks ran down. Like, I don't like the housing structure. I don't like nothing about it, right? I don't like nothing about it. It's not a place where you want to raise children at. You know? To me, like, Detroit is far ahead of Memphis, though. It's way far ahead of Memphis. Like, at least in Detroit, you got the Boston Addison community. You got Dearborn. You got Redford. Like, at least that's what you got in Detroit. But in Memphis, like, what communities do you have in Memphis? You got the University of Memphis, right? That's That's a good start. You know, you got the Memphis Tigers. Um, you got it right. It's close to Mississippi, but like, man, you know, you couldn't get me to live nowhere near Memphis. You couldn't get me to live nowhere near Memphis, Tennessee. Like nowhere. You know, like I caught a bus route through Memphis one time, right? I saw a subway. I didn't really see much. You know, I didn't really see much. It was a lot going on. It was a lot of people outside, you know, but you know, I think like the rapping scene kind of made Memphis kind of get like a bad look. The rappers that came out of Memphis in the recent 10 years, it gave Memphis a bad look, you know. That whole hustle and bustle for money, crime, sex, and violence. That's what came out of Memphis. Like, I'm not a fan of that. And Willie D, he made the comments that, you know, people need to travel. You know, that's true. You know, how many people never been to Oregon? They never been to Washington State. Like, you gotta imagine, right? Like, if you've ever seen those places, that you would want to stay there. You would want to stay there. You know, the Green Acres, the markets. Like, you would want to stay there. You want to stay there. But like, to be honest with you, Washington State and Oregon, those are the highlights of the North. Even though they're Western states, those are the highlights of the North. It isn't New York, you know what I mean? It isn't Chicago, it's Washington State and Oregon. It's those states in that corner Pacific. Those are the highlight states of the North. You know? Because they're so clean, they're kept, and you know they have untapped potential, which means like black people really haven't been there. So it's just like a vacant state. You know what I mean? It has services or whatnot, but like, how many people do you know that live in those places? You know what I mean? Like, how many of us got family in those places? You know? But I think eventually, right, black people are going to start moving to those states. They're going to get out of places like Memphis, Detroit, Chicago. Chicago is already moving to Las Vegas and Minnesota. So I already know it. Like, I got friends up there from Washington who lived in Chicago at one point in time. They live in Washington now. So I know for a fact it's Chicagoans out there in Washington. Yeah, people are going to start moving to these places. I didn't see anything wrong with what LeBron said. You know, it's kind of crazy to me though. It's like, why does Oregon not have a basketball team for the professional leagues? They got the Oregon, I think they're called the Oregon Ducks or something like that. The yellow and green team. Washington State, you know, they got Portland, the Portland Trail Blazers. They had the Seattle Supersonics. But yeah, LeBron, he said nothing wrong. I don't see why people are mad. And for black people to say that those were anti-black comments, that's just wild. Like, I think they need to look in the mirror and really do some examining, because like, his family is black. All three of his children look just like him. So where did he go wrong? You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, I never bought his shoes. I think I bought his jersey before. Yeah, I bought his jersey before, but I never bought his shoes or anything like that. his uniform set. I never did that. But LeBron is like a player that you hype up. You celebrate the fact that he's in the league because his story is incredible. His story is incredible. Like, to me, like LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, like their stories are incredible. You know what I mean? I wish that team would have stayed together longer, but they didn't. You know what I mean? I wish they would have stayed together longer. I think it would have been incredible for them to do something like that. But I really want to come back and do something because this got me thinking. Like, I need to really go into some of these townships and kind of look at their services. And that's what I want to do. I'm going to do that next in the video. Because, like, people really, they really not seeing the goalposts. They really not seeing the goalposts, man. But, you know, as far as, like, people saying, like, oh, he's talking white. Like, that's code switching. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to code switch. Like, if you watch movies, that's all actors do. They code switch. And I'm sure he went to California so he can help people get movie deals. Can't be mad at that. He got a huge family, bro. Like, you know, it either could have been him going to the LA Lakers or the New York Knicks. He went to the LA Lakers. That's a big deal. So kudos to LeBron James. Thank you for all the years that you gave us. We miss you being on Cleveland. We actually miss you playing for the Miami Heat with D Wade and Chris Bosh. You know, those were the years. We celebrate that. And you are our king. We celebrate that. Great peace. Yakoki.